Sometime in June 1986, precisely June 1986, I just finished my last paper in Federal School of Art and Science. And so the natural thing for me to do was to rejoice like every other student, drop the pen and walk out. But that was not my goal at all. I had something else. I had another sinister mission or goal in mind. There was a lecturer who had disturbed me during the last exam. He positioned himself right behind me because he felt like if there was going to be any gimmick in this hall today, it will come from this particular table. So he stood right behind me, and I was upset all through the exam. I told him repeatedly, sir, can you please back off? And he didn't. And I made up my mind that I was going to take it out on him. So as soon as the exam was over, while other students were walking away, he took the exam sheets, the answer sheets, going straight to the staff room. I waylaid him, and I kept punching him. He couldn't respond because he didn't want to drop the answer sheet. So I kept punching him repeatedly. The other lecturers saw, rushed in my direction, but before they could get to me, I jumped the fence and I waved them goodbye with a smile. Now, I didn't do this because, I was born that way. No, I grew up, as it were, to be that way. I took on that image. I was basically manifesting what I felt to be true of myself. In Numbers chapter 13, verse 33, the people said, we are like grasshopper in their sight. We saw ourselves as grasshopper in our own sight. You see, people will relate with you based on what they perceive to be true about you. And what they perceive to be true about you is what you project about yourself. You cannot manifest beyond what you believe to be true about you. And so I was manifesting all those things because that was the image I had of myself. I grew up feeling like I was the bad guy. And so I had no choice but to manifest it. I mean, right there on my dining table at home, people will be eating rice, but sometimes I don't know that inside my own rice, I've mixed certain things that I wouldn't want to mention on air right now. Mixed it up with my own rice as a teenager, 15, 16, and 17. And we'll swallow, we'll eat. Why was I doing all that? Why was I involved in gangsterism? That was me. I felt that was me. Until, how did it break? It broke when I started believing something different to be true of me. I got saved first of all. I gave my life to Christ first of all. And then the next thing that happened was repeated hearing. Remember, Paul said in Romans chapter 12 verse 2, he said, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be transformed. Your life cannot be transformed beyond the level of the new information that you take in. Garbage in, garbage out. You are producing presently the things you have dumped in your head, either knowingly, directly, or indirectly. Through circumstances, feedbacks from people, especially authority figures. Like I said in one of the previous broadcasts, the people who can make you can also break you. Because you are open to, to believe whatever they say. And the authority figure, more so in the African setting, they must be right. So if they call you a fool, they must be right. If they call you an idiot, they must be right. If they call you an area boy, they must be right. So there are several people masking, wearing a mask. They try to act cool, like a gangster, but in their heart, they are feeble. In their heart, they could be kind and good-natured. But you see, what they manifest has to be consistent with what's in their head. Now, why am I saying all that? There are certain people probably wondering, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I doing what? Why am I manifesting this? Why am I doing all this? Why am I engaged in this? Why? I came today to answer that question of why. This is the reason. This is the why. And the only way you can make a U-turn is by changing what you feed your mind with. if you are stuck on the same circle of friends, you are going to keep manifesting the same thing, because it's the same input. You are getting input from them. Like they say, birds of the same feather, they flock together. If 4 of your friends are addicts, you are going to be the 5th one. And if 4 of your friends are successful, you are going to be the 5th person. So look around you. Who are your closest friends? Directly or indirectly, your life is going to be exactly like theirs. If it's not so right now, it's going to be so over time. Change the circle of your friends. That's also another step towards changing what your experience, your life experience is going forward. And let's forget about the past. The past is gone, you can't change it, but it can determine what the future becomes or turns out to be. It's easy to just sit back and get bogged down with, oh, I was this, I was that, my past was this and that. But let's create a new future. How do we create the new you or your new future going forward? The first step is change what you put in. Change what goes into your head, into your mind. Change the feedback, the information. I mean, we swallow every junk on social media and we think it doesn't matter. Hello, you are listening to someone who has been on this journey of working with young people for over 30 years. It matters. What you put in matters. It is determining, it is creating your reality. So that's the first thing. Alter, be intentional about what you feed your mind with. Then the second thing you might consider doing is consider the circle of friends you work with. You see, you cannot walk with turkeys and expect to soar like an eagle. It can't happen. You can't walk with turkeys and expect to soar like an eagle. You always, crawl like a turkey. So you have to break that pattern intentionally. I'm not talking about keeping enmity. I'm talking about intentionally. If the circle of your friends are not taking you in the direction of your aspiration in life, then alter it. Alter it. The next thing you might also want to consider doing is goal setting. We're not going to be elaborate on it today because it's a short broadcast. Goal setting. Consider setting goals. You set goals. In other words, from now till the next 1 year, what are the things I want to do with my life? Set goals. From now till the next 5 years, what do I want to achieve with my life? Set goals. Goals have a way of driving you and have a way of helping you to be focused and manage yourself a bit more. When you remember, I got to do this. Now, don't only set goals, but set goals with plan. And your plan must include deadline. Your plan must include the steps you need to take from point A to point Z. All right? Okay, this is where I'm going to stop today. Until we see again, same time, same channel. Feel free to make your comment on my wall in response to this broadcast. I would love to hear from you. What has impacted you the most in this particular message? What experiences do you have to buttress the things I've mentioned today? You can share so that others can benefit as well. But adventure, you also have a personal need for counseling in any area at all. Feel free rather to DM me. It will be my pleasure to interact with you and help you walk through that journey. Like I say regularly, I'm your partner in progress. I want to see you move from, that caterpillar stage to that butterfly stage. That is what metamorphosis is all about. If it can happen with others, it can happen with you. You are the next online to testify. God bless you very good is my prayer. My name is Lawrence Onochie, and bye for now.